Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe. And if you are returning, I also appreciate it very much if you hit that like and subscribe. Trying to add more subscribers in 2026, and every little bit helps. Please share this video with other action figure enthusiasts. Today we are veering off the path of wrestling once again. This is the Avatar Special Edition video. I also collect Avatar action figures, and I finally got my hands on the Quaritch and the Verang Mangkwan leader. Sorry for the pronunciations, I'm still getting used to that. So yeah, I saw these in the stores ages ago, passed up on them because they were expensive and I didn't have money at the time, and now I tracked them down and added them to the collection. We're going to take them out of the box and compare them and show them next to other figures that I've had from the original Avatar series of figures that was released, and showcase what they're all about. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Quaritch, the Ash Warrior version of him, and so we're going to take him out of the box and see what he's all about. Anybody who's seen part 3 knows that he plays a very significant role in the movie, and it feels like the actual saga is being built around his redemption arc, in my opinion. Before we go any further, I do want to say that none of my content is sponsored. Any figures that you see on this channel being reviewed or looked at are bought and purchased with my own money. I also want to say that I am a devout Avatar fan. I unapologetically and unironically enjoy the movies. I feel like the first 2 are better than the third one, but the third one still has merit, and I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully James Cameron producing a 4 and 5. So I will not accept Avatar bashing on my comments. Feel free to dislike the movie all you want. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. But I like these movies, and I enjoy these action figures, and I enjoy having them in my collection. So let's take a look at Quaritch Ash Warrior out of the box. So here is Quaritch, the Ash Warrior version, and this is the front of the box. These are, if you don't know already, these are put out by McFarlane Toys, and I bought the versions of characters from the first movie, and they're very spectacular figures, highly detailed, and I was very excited to have these new ones in my collection. The packaging is really good. It almost pains me to open it, but I am a action figure opener. But we have the Avatar logo here. It's a foil, nice and fancy, and then we have the some depiction of artwork from the movie on the side here. Quaritch here, and then here's the side, McFarlane Collector Edition, and then here is a action pose of the figure itself on the back. I like how they took the whole back of the package to showcase the figure. I think that's a really nice touch. You're not bogged down with a lot of wording and legal mumbo jumbo, which is here on the bottom. Again, you get the foil stamp here on the box, and then over here, McFarlane Collector Edition, Quaritch Ash Warrior, McFarlane Toys, the continuation of the artwork on the side here. So we're going to open this figure up, take him out of the box, and see what he's all about, pose him around a little bit, and see how he holds up to some of the other figures in my Avatar collection. Here you'll see it comes with a stand. And usually I find these stands are much needed, so we're gonna take that out. So here is the figure, still in the plastic. So, wow, it took quite the effort to get all this stuff out of the package. It's all taped in and twist tied in. We're gonna start with the additional head sculpt. This is a serious Quaritch head sculpt, and the detail on these are absolutely amazing. I love how the haircut, it's faded like a close crop, and then we have the long rat tail in the back, complete with some decoration here in the hair. Very good head sculpt. The eyes look great. Wonderful, wonderful head sculpt here. And then we have a set of hands. Actually, 2 sets of hands. We have an open hand here. Let's see if I can hold these right. And then we have a trigger finger here. Again, all painted up to look weather worn and ready for battle. And then here we have, I don't know if this is another trigger hand or a pointing hand. It looks like another trigger finger. And then a fisted hand. So you get a variety of hands. Then you get one of his weapons here. It's pretty good. Kind of generic looking. It's just hard plastic. The paint detail is nice on it. And then we have a knife. This looks like a sheath knife. And then another blaster here. So a lot of good stuff here to go with our boy. And then here is the figure itself. A lot of detail on the vest, on the back, and then he's got the detail here on his belt, the ability to hold weapons here. He's got a sheath for the knife back here, so I guess that is an unsheathed knife. And got the necklace. Just a lot of good detail on this figure. And then, of course, the tail. And then the dirt, or I can't remember if he paints his legs like that in the movie. And then underneath, I'm not going to take this vest off. I don't know if you can take the vest off. I'm not going to. But you got some decor here, some paint on the stomach. The detail on the paint on the body is really good. It's subtle, so you see the stripes. It's very well done. It looks very much like actual skin. You get some nice detail on the arms, nice sculpting on the biceps. Let's see how he poses. He does the T-pose. It looks like he's got... So he does the T-pose. And then he is double jointed. He has pinned arms. I want to be gentle, because if I break it, I don't know if I'll be able to replace it. These aren't as easy to find. So double jointed pinned elbows. See that right there? And then he has double jointed pinned knees. You can do that. And then like that. So he does pretty well there. And then we got the toe articulation, which normally I don't care about, but maybe for an Avatar figure that comes in handy. And then, does he have an ankle rocker? Not so much on the ankle rocker. The ankles do move up and down, back and forth, whatever you want to call it. But they don't move side to side, which is good. That kind of thing always makes me nervous, even if the ankle rockers are built in. And, like I said, so there you go. That's the posing. So here's the neck peg. As I'm going to change the heads, I figured I'd show that. I don't think I ever pop the heads off my figures on camera as much. So here's the neck peg. And then here's the serious face that it came with. So I'm just going to pop that on right there. Make sure it goes on. Don't want to break it. There it goes. So we'll do serious Quaritch. And now we're gonna set him up with some accessories and put him on the revolving stand and take a look at him in all his glory as he's decked out in all his accessories. Okay, so my first QC issue, I was going to switch the hand so he could hold his weapon, and I wanted to use this hand right here, the trigger finger hand. And it looks like the peg on my hand is broken off, so you can't pop the hand into place and have it stay there. So that is a problem. So you can get it to stay like that, but it is not going to stay when you put a weapon in there. So you got to use either sticky tack. I'm not gluing it in because I want to be able to change his hands out. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I'm sure that's an isolated instance, but it looks like the peg has like been cleanly cut off. So that's a real bummer. So let's try another hand here. See, you can tell, it's hard to tell on camera, but you can see that the peg clearly is a little bit longer here, and it has that rounded end to pop into the wrist socket. This doesn't have that. This looks like it's been broken off. But I had no indication that the figure itself was had been used or pre-purchased or returned or something like that. So we'll get back to posing him, but that's just a little bit of a bummer. I never like when something like that happens. It doesn't happen often, but these figures are almost $40 a piece, and just very disheartening when something like that happens. Here he is in a pose. I put a trigger finger on him that would snap into place, and the figure looks great. Like I said, the stand is sort of necessary with these figures, at least in my opinion, and I just love the way he looks. We're going to get him into a couple of other different poses just to showcase what he can do. Overall, to have a representation of these movies and having the different characters, I'm all for, and I really like it a lot. The detail on this figure is great. So let's get him in a few more poses. Again, can't say enough about the detail on this figure. I just really love it, and they're pretty posable. I do feel like they're not as, I don't know, there's something about it that makes me feel like if you mess with it too much, they're going to break, which is never a good feeling for an action figure. And here he is wielding his blade in a fisted hand. I wanted to showcase the blaster hand, but this is the hand that has the broken peg. So what we're going to do is I'm still going to showcase it, but I'm going to have to put some museum putty in the hole to showcase it. And here he is with the blaster holding hand. I did use a little bit of a museum putty. You can probably see it up close. I think what I'm going to do is reach out to McFarlane, like email them and explain to them what's wrong, and hopefully they could send me another spare hand without having to send the whole figure back, because the rest of the figure is fine. I do find that the replacing the hands does seem a little bit fragile, so if you have this figure, plan on getting this figure, just be careful. They're not as sturdy. I'm a big WWE Mattel Elite collector, and I feel like the way that they do those interchangeable hands feel a lot more sturdy than how these are. But this is the first time I've really spent a lot of time with the hands for this, because I've never reviewed the older figures. But so that's what we have. Just be careful of the hands. Mine, the blaster hand, was broken at the peg. But overall, that notwithstanding, it is a great figure. Awesome detail. I love the vest. I love the accessories that it comes with. I love the paint apps on the body. I think it's a really great depiction of the character from the movie. And definitely, finally, I have a bad guy that I'm adding to the collection. So here you have my Jake Sully and my Neytiri. And these are from, I think they're based on the first movie, but they didn't come out until the second movie came out, because I don't think they made figures for the first movie 10 years ago, or I don't know, 12 years ago now. So there's how he stacks up. He's a little bit different color blue, not as bright. I don't know if that's by design to depict that he is a bad guy, and you could differentiate them from ones in the movie. Jake Sully and Neytiri have a much deeper blue and much more detailed striping and paint apps on their bodies. But I have zero desire to get another Jake and another Neytiri. I'm going to stick with these from the based on the original movie, and then we're just going to add. We have Quaritch here, and next up we're going to review the Verang Mangkwan leader. All right, and next up we are going to take a look at the Verang Mangkwan leader. I really wanted this figure a lot. I thought that even in the trailers, the character looked amazing, and when I saw this, I knew I had to get it. It was just a matter of when. Again, it's nice to add a couple of villains to my collection. And so we're going to take a look at her out of the packaging, see how she stands up to Quaritch, and then my Jake and my Neytiri. Yeah, so let's take a look at her out of the box. So the packaging is similar, obviously, to Quaritch. You have the foil logo here, artwork on the front, figure, extra head, accessories. In case you didn't know, again, this is a McFarlane Toys production. You have McFarlane Collector's Edition, figure 03 in the line, then the full action figure, then the full toy photography on the back, which again I really like, showcases the figure in full. And then over here we have McFarlane Collector's Edition in foil, Verang, Mangkwan leader. We're going to take her out of the box and pose her all around, see what she's all about and how she holds up to the other figures. Alright, so here's what we got. A lot of accessories. I want to commend McFarlane Toys for providing a lot of accessories, but at the same time, way too many twist ties and way too much tape to get this stuff out. Here we have extra hands. A little bit of tape on this one. See, there's so much tape. So much tape. Extra hands. We have knife holding hands, a fisted hand. Ugh. So here we have a knife holding hand and a fisted hand for fighting. And then we have an open hand, complete with tattoo on the palm, which is nice. And then we have an axe or blaster holding hand. I don't know if... Yeah, it does come with a blaster. We'll get to that in a second. So the blaster holding hand, and then this really cool decoed blaster with all this kind of tribal marks and tape on it. Looks really cool. I like the attention to detail with this stuff. Makeshift knife or a shiv. And then extra head sculpt. This is serious head sculpt. The detail on this is absolutely insane. I absolutely love it. Got the back here with the decor on the long hair. You have the headdress, which looks really good. The paint apps on the face, simply amazing. It's all uneven, like it's, you know, clay and dirt from the movie. You got the stripe down the middle, earrings, really good head sculpt. Oh, I forgot, we have other blades. Got these almost like sickle type slashing knives here, complete with bone handles. Again, the detail on these, absolutely amazing. Get a close-up of those there. You can see that. So a lot of good stuff here. And then we have the figure. So it comes packaged with this awesome screaming head sculpt. And a lot of great detail. The headdress again here. And then the front, you have her waist wrap. Art, the paint on the arms. Down the back, you have the tattoo and a tail with rope around it, and then of course the legs. These are also double jointed, pinned elbows and knees. But get the chest wrap. It's all very. I like the fine attention to detail on this. I like it a lot. So then let's do the posing. So here's the T pose, and then she does her avatar splits like that, so that's nice. You want these to be kind of flexible because they're very animal-like, so you probably want to get them into some interesting poses, like they're crouching down a lot. And then here's the double-jointed pinned knees. Move her tail out of the way. The tail articulates as well, and then you got the ankles and the toe articulation. No ankle rocker, they do not go side to side. And then your head's very limited movement. You're not going to get a lot of movement with the head because of the headdress and the long hair, but I think it looks great. And then the torso, you get a lot of flexibility in the torso, which is nice. I don't know if I showcased that on Quaritch. I don't know if you need a flexible torso on Quaritch, but you get your ab crunch that way. You get that. The problem with leaning her so far back is you get the gap between the upper body and the bottom half. Let's get her suited up with some accoutrements and take a look at her. And here she is in the first pose I put her in, holding the sickles, and it was a screaming head sculpt, which is absolutely phenomenal. I'm definitely going to keep that one on her. And it just looks great. Pose is pretty easy, and I did not have so far any of the peg problems on the hands like I did on the Quaritch figure. so that's still upsetting to me. But we're going to showcase a couple other poses with her. These are highly posable. I just feel like just be careful with the elbows and the knees because they're not super smooth, but they're not super loose either. Just I wouldn't force anything when you're doing this. And then here she is in another pose. I am truly in love with this figure. I love the face on this one. I haven't switched out the other head yet. I love the ferocity in the face. I love the posing that you can do with these. Truly amazing. A great addition to my Avatar little collection here. We're going to switch out the head sculpt just so you can see the more serious head sculpt. And then compare her side by side with the other figures. And here you have her with the serious face, and then I have the palm hand with the tattoo showing, and highly posable, looks absolutely fabulous. It is a little fragile. The thing that holds the knife on the back has already like sort of split, so now the knife will fall out. So that's probably my only gripe is like the figures are too fragile in some places, like just doing these basic steps. I've never had figures come with messed up connections for the extra hands. I've never had pieces break while I'm setting it up. So that's a little disheartening, especially because these figures in particular are some of the more expensive figures on the market and some of the more expensive figures I go out of my way to pick up. So at almost $40 a pop, it's a little disheartening that the pieces would kind of break like that. That's my only negative. I do like how highly posable it is. The detail is absolutely phenomenal. McFarlane normally does a great job, and they do a great job. I'm not a McFarlane expert. I do not own a lot of McFarlane figures, but we're going to see how she compares with the other figures that I have right here. So here she is next to the newly reviewed Quaritch, and then how she stacks up to my Jake Sully and my Neytiri. I like the difference in color palette. It definitely gives you a clear delineation of the good guys and the bad guys, in my opinion. The duller, darker colors accentuate that they're the bad guys. The brighter blue with the more accentuated stripes lets you sort of know that they're the good guys. I really like it a lot. It's nice to have villains in the collection, and they hold up nicely next to my originally Jake and Neytiri. So there you have it, my review of Quaritch and Verang from Avatar Fire and Ash. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these figures. It's something a little different on my channel, a different line of figures that I collect. Overall, really good figures. I just wish they weren't so fragile, but they look absolutely amazing. And if you've made it this far, please be sure to hit that like. Please be sure to hit that subscribe. Please be sure to share this video, especially if you know anyone who enjoys the Avatar movies or McFarlane Avatar action figures. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope to catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.